project as a developer. Let's go. Hey guys, build my own portfolio website with me today. So for context, I'm Tia, I live in Australia. I've been teaching myself how to code for 2 weeks now. I've managed to achieve quite a lot in those 2 weeks, just quietly. I've done everything from HTML, CSS, basics, fundamentals, expanded on that via YouTube on the initial courses that I did, and then now I'm learning JavaScript. But I thought we've got to put everything into practice. So today I'm going to build my own portfolio website. So for context, I think this is a really good first step for a lot of developers. You've got to get your name out there. It's good to be able to build your own website from scratch. I know you can just copy someone else's code and like change the picture and the text, but today I'm going to build it from absolute scratch using VS Code and bring you along the journey. So we could definitely just build as we go, but I'm really keen to mock up a bit of a wireframe just to work out, like I know it's quite basic, the website, the portfolio websites, but I'm really keen to just stick to kind of a wireframe, keep on track, make it visually appealing, decide on what color scheme early on. So let's start with that. I can see my computer just went into standby mode, so I think I've probably been talking for too long now, but let's get started. Miro. Okay, so I've just flipped the camera around, and I did want to say, if you don't want to use Miro, you could definitely just do a wireframe on a piece of paper. Like, we're going to get a similar effect here, but I've got an ultra wide screen, so I just want to reference back when I'm building the website what I was thinking in the wireframe, but a piece of paper would just be as good. So let me flip the camera around and show you exactly what I'm doing on Miro. Okay, bit of a change of scenery. Please let me know in the comments, do you prefer this background or do you prefer my office background? To our portfolio website. So after you've imported or created your index.html file and your CSS style sheet and linked them together, what I'm going to do is go to Google Fonts and import a custom font. So I really like the font Poppins, and so I'm going to go ahead now and import that into my portfolio website code. Okay, so I've pasted Poppins into my HTML file now, just using the link, it's so easy. And I'm gonna use a Font Awesome CDN so I can add some icons in, especially when I think about linking to my LinkedIn, GitHub. Instead of using images, it's just easy to use icons. So next we're gonna search for Font Awesome CDN in Google and just import that into the HTML file. Okay, milestone 1, I think we've done all the prep work, everything from the wireframe to setting up our files to importing the fonts. We're ready to go icons wise, so let's get started. I'm going to start with the navigation bar. I'm first going to do the HTML code of that, and then I'm going to style it up a little bit. So I'll show you the end result after this section. Wait, one more thing I just forgot. So when I'm coding in VS Code, I use Live Server. I saw a video on this, and instead of having to refresh your web page, you can basically use Live Server. It's just an extension, and it will dynamically update when you save your HTML and CSS files. I have noticed that if you're editing in HTML and you click Control S, if you've got unsaved changes in your CSS file, they won't sync through. So you're clicking Control Save quite a few times, but bear with me. I'm gonna do the navigation bar and then loop back to about how I went. Okay, clock is ticking. We're about 30 minutes in, but what I've done so far is now I've structured my HTML file, and so I've added in comments around the different sections, referencing back to my Miro wireframe. Now I'm just resetting the styles in CSS, and please don't judge my code. Someone give me tips, please. Self-taught here. Checking in with you guys. It's been a few hours since we last spoke. It's now 3:30. I did have some lunch and have just been coding away, still at the kitchen table, but feeling really good. I've now completed the nav bar, the hero section, and then now I'm working into the main body, and I'm just comparing against my Miro board or my wireframe. I'll insert a clip here, but basically I'm thinking well, what I did in the wireframe, just as I was coding and going along, I was like, it doesn't really make sense right now. For example, this is my first project ever, so I don't really need a projects tab. So I've just put a coming soon and a link there. And then in terms of send a message, I actually remembered when I first was doing when I was doing HTML fundamentals, that you can just insert a line of code to mail to. So I can I'll obviously post my code, or I'll post the link and you can have a look. But basically, instead of doing the send a message, I thought that I would just allow people to send an email for now, and then we can send the message in JavaScript and store it somewhere. How about that? Okay guys, it is nearly 8 o'clock. I think I'm ready for bed. I'm not one of those developers who's staying up till 3 a.m. I'm more a 4 a.m. wake up type of girl, so flipping the switch on that one. But we're done. So I've done my website, I've done the nav, the hero section, and the main body. It's looking pretty good for one day as a beginner, but there's definitely some more work to be done. So I will be evolving this throughout my journey. But biggest tip I would say is find a really good video where someone's explaining exactly what they're doing and help you structure big lines of code, because I think my HTML file is about 150 lines and then my CSS is double that. So definitely watch a good video along the way, but back yourself in. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And join me for my next project. If you have any project ideas, pop them in the comments, because I'd love to film the process just like this. And trust me, we're going to get better along the way. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.